We have someone very special. We have Dr. Lily Keswani. She is India's first female laparoscopic surgeon. She is a gynec and an integrative medicine practitioner, and she's been in this since the last 40 years. Hello, Dr. Lily. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Karishma. Thank you for inviting me. This is a great opportunity to reach a lot of people and impact them. Thank you again.
We're very, very happy to have you today. I'm actually very excited to talk to you about, lots of things that young girls want to know. There are, lots of questions that so many girls today have because they're all, in some way or the other, they're all suffering from some kind of a hormonal issue due to the environment, due to the lifestyle. And, we have these very interesting questions that, we would like to ask you and want to know from, all
Fire away, fire away.
the plethora of information that you have. Thank you so much for doing this, firstly.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Dr. Lily, to begin with, a lot of girls these days have, thyroid hormone problems. The thyroid levels are the function is, fluctuating for most girls. For some, it's hypo, for some, it's hyper. There are also very rampant cases of Hashimoto's. So, doctor, we wanted to know, does an impact on our thyroid hormone then have any kind of connection or impact on the fertility of the woman or her chances of conception?
Yes, definitely, Karishma. We find that I think today there are maybe 40 or even 50% of the population suffers from low thyroid, what we call hypothyroidism.
Yes.
But the interesting thing is that 90% of these cases are autoimmune in nature, which is what you refer to as Hashimoto's.
Yes.
90%. So that now autoimmune conditions through integrative medicine or functional medicine or root cause medicine, whatever we call it, is a reversible condition. So the idea that we had that if you're diagnosed with thyroid, then you're going to be on thyroid medication for the rest of your life is completely outdated. In fact, most of my patients, once I start them on the regimen, the protocol, within about, say, a couple of months, they're able to stop their thyroid medication.
Fantastic.
They're able to revert to normal health.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic.
And this is really important because thyroid affects every aspect of one's health. And certainly, like you asked, it affects the periods, the fertility, the conception, the baby, and even post-conception. At every stage, the thyroid function is really, really critical.
Yes, yes. Thank you, doctor. To understand the thyroid hormone, and its function further, whereas women's pregnancies are concerned, does the mother have any kind of, a risk factor involved if she has a thyroid hormone condition where maybe her thyroid hormone is less or she's functioning on hypothyroid autoimmune conditions? How does that impact her pregnancy, or how does that impact, the baby's health or development in the future?
Right. So it impacts the mother's health first. The periods may be abnormal. The ovulation, the release of the ovum may not happen as expected. The conception may not happen as expected. It may end in a miscarriage or even a stillbirth.
Okay.
And once having conceived, the baby's brain mostly is very much affected. There's a condition called cretinism that may be familiar to some of your listeners. So where the baby's IQ is very much affected. So the impact of thyroid on the pregnancy is huge. And that is why we suggest that when you're expecting to conceive, at least 3 months prior to that, you check your hormone levels, especially thyroid levels, and make sure that it is within normal limits. And even before the missed period,
yes,
as soon as you think that you could have conceived and your pregnancy test comes positive, start increasing your thyroid. Most of the listeners will be on the synthetic thyroid, what we call as the levothyroxine.
yes.
So just start increasing that by 25 micrograms.
Okay.
Because it is so critical to be very well corrected in the very early days of pregnancy.
Yes, absolutely.
And then, of course, you continue going to your doctor and then follow up and make sure that your levels are very well controlled.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. That's beautiful insight. When on the topic of how this how the functioning of thyroid does affect few things. So some questions on this. So number one is that does the thyroid hormone then affect whatever conditions the woman has, even if she's taking medications or she's not taking medications and the baby has come in, does that affect the baby's cognitive function, or does it affect the development of the baby in any way?
Yes, it does. It does, especially for the brain. It affects the baby's brain development in a very, very major way.
Okay. Okay.
This condition which I mentioned, cretinism, is where the baby's cognitive function is severely affected. But it need not be that severe. It could be through various stages. It may be partially affected, or medium level or very severe level. It could be various levels. It could be the cognition. It could be the vision. It could be the attention span. It could be alertness. At any level, it could have affected the baby's brain. And that is why it is critical for the thyroid level to be maintained at optimum levels, not just normal levels, but optimum levels throughout the pregnancy.
Okay. Okay. And doctor, is there a risk or a chance for, the baby to have a thyroid condition in the future?
It could be. Since we know that 90% of them are autoimmune in nature, then the antibodies present in the mother could also be present in the baby because of the placental flow.
Yes.
And it could affect the baby's condition as well. And that is why we suggest that the TSH, which TSH is a marker of thyroid function. Even though the lab report will say a normal range is all the way up to 5.5, that is too high. 5.5 is much too high.
Absolutely.
We want it to be below 2 and actually preferably 1.
Yes.
Especially during pregnancy. Yes. And you know that very well, Dr. Karishma. I'm sure you would recommend that to your clients as well.
Absolutely, doctor. One very important thing that you pointed out right now, and I would also like to emphasize it because I see it in so many people that I consult with, that they always come in with a thyroid report and the like, oh, but it's 4, oh, but it's 5. And I think it's normal. The doctor has...
And my doctor said it's normal.
Yes, but actually that's not true, because I've realized that the symptoms are there then, and the conceptions are not happening. Infertility is quite prevalent in these women. And then we realize that the actual scale, which you very, very correctly pointed out right now, is that it has to be like in the range of 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
And a 5 is still high then.
So very, very high.
Very common, doctor. Thank you for pointing this out, because this is a very common thing, and girls need to know this. They need to know that if your thyroid hormone function is not in the range of 1 and 2, and it's showing above that, it's not normal. You need to go and...
It needs to be corrected. It needs to be corrected. The TSH and FSH. FSH is a hormone which regulates estrogen, the female hormone. TSH and FSH are very similar in structure.
Yes. Okay.
So when TSH is high because thyroid is low, the FSH is also likely to be high, and that will increase the level of estrogen, and that will lead to hormonal imbalances in the female hormones, the estrogen progesterone hormone, and that can lead to the delayed the disturbed cycle or heavy periods. So these girls can come to you with heavy periods and anemia.
Yes.
That is another complication that they can develop as well.
That is true. That is true. Doctor, isn't it true that most of the, most of your patients who would come to you with an irregularity in their thyroid hormone, you very correctly mentioned TSH, FSH. Is it also true that there could be an underlying cause of anemia in the women?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's also going to affect kidney function and erythropoietin. Yes. Which is a hormone which is produced by the kidneys. Yes. So, as the human body is so complex, everything affects everything. Whereas with pharmaceuticals, we take such a narrow view, you take this medicine and this will get affected and treated. But no, the human body is extremely complex. You take something and something else is also affected, because the body is a whole. Body does not consist of hormone organs which are discrete from each other. They are all interconnected, and that is why anything you do is going to affect all of the body.
Absolutely, absolutely correct. Also, doctor, you very correctly mentioned that when there is some kind of an issue, because the whole cycle is connected, one after the other, the hormones are going to be affected. Yes. The woman then inadvertently suffers a little more. when she's not aware of these things. So doctor, we spoke about cognitive function, we spoke about the baby probably then having some kind of a function problem going ahead in the future. um, Doctor, can you help us with some tips for what women can do prior to conception, prior to planning a baby, so that these kind of issues might be minimal or probably avoided by them for their future baby?
I would suggest that they go to somebody like you who's aware of these problems that can happen to at least 3 months, preferably even 6 months before they decide that, okay, now's the time that we want to start a family.
Yes.
And of course, they check their blood group,
Yes.
both of them, and they check their thyroid level. They start themselves on omega-3 fatty acids.
Yes. Yes.
That's huge. And folic acid.
Yes.
Folic acid is very important. So all of these need to be not just normal, but optimal. We don't look for normal health, we look for optimal health. Because if your health is here, then even if you fall, will come here. But if your health is normal here, when you fall, you'll come down. You don't want that.
That is beautiful, doctor. What you just said right now, if understood by the right people in the right way, it is beautiful what you just mentioned right now. I absolutely agree with what you just said, because I feel that everyone wants to have a certain level of fitness and health, and they're going to be very compromising about it, and they're going to be like, it's okay.
It's okay.
But when we want certain results in life and it's not coming to us, it's okay. It's not important. It has to have a optimal level, as you very, very rightly,
And another misconception that people have: I'm young, I can beat anything, I don't need to worry. Yes. But no, look at the number of teenagers with type 2 diabetes we have today.
Absolutely.
You can't afford to take your health lightly at any age.
Yes.
Hormones are like a symphony.
Yeah.
It's like music.
Yes.
Everything has to work together. The violins, the drums, the guitar, and whatever the other instruments, everything has to work together. Only then they produce beautiful music. You can't treat thyroid alone. True. You can't just give somebody levothyroxine and say, okay, it's done, you're fine. No, you have to check all the hormones and treat them all together.
Yes.
So why did this happen? Go down to the root cause. Why did it happen? And then treat that. That is when you get real results for both the mother as well as the baby.
Yes. Yes, very, very true, doctor. Thank you for pointing that out so nicely. Doctor, on the concept of, the usual myths that are there, probably some misunderstandings that women have. A very common one is that if a woman has PCOS, or if a young girl has PCOS, she will not be able to conceive. Conception is not possible for her. Can you highlight and explain and probably bust this myth for us?
Okay. PCOS, yes, what happens in PCOS is that the ovulation is not occurring. The follicles which contain the ovum, you'll find them all on the outside edge of the ovary, periphery of the ovary. And normally it should mature and then it should release the ovum. But that doesn't happen. And that is why on an ultrasound, you will see all of the follicles.
Yes.
Of the same size, which we call a pearl necklace appearance. So if ovulation doesn't occur, then obviously fertilization is not going to occur. So such a woman is going to require assisted reproductive techniques.
Yes. Yes.
This is what we have been doing. This is what, as a gynecologist, I was always doing, giving drugs like clomiphene to induce ovulation.
Yes.
But now, through integrative medicine or functional medicine, or whatever we call it, we can reverse PCOD. We can reverse the pathology of PCOD.
Yes.
Because it is a metabolic condition. You can treat that. You know that.
Yes, absolutely.
The insulin resistance, which is at the root, when we treat that. Yes. So now the patient does not have the PCOD anymore, and she can definitely conceive completely normally and go on to have a normal pregnancy, normal labor, normal birth, and a normal baby as well.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you for busting that myth. A lot of girls sometimes are misled because they read certain things on the internet, or they come across some kind of information, and there's a lot of anxiety, depression that follows. So, this clarification from somebody who has so much experience is actually golden for girls.
But I really wouldn't even blame them, because this is very new. This knowledge is not yet so widespread. Yes. So I guess it's okay.
Yeah, it's also important for them to know that, especially from people, who've been in this practice, over the years, with all the 40 years of experience that you have, you've seen the development of science, you've seen how procedures have changed now. And, coming from somebody like you, when you say that, a condition like PCOS, a syndrome like that is reversible, and then you can actually have very normal functions to do whatever you desire in life, is golden. I think girls need to know this. It's very,
Can I
very.
share a short story quickly?
Yes, please, doctor. We'll be happy to hear it. Yes.
So one of the first patients that I had, and this I'm talking is about 7 years ago, as an integrative medicine, okay, not as a gynecologist.
Yes.
Because as a gynecologist, I used to prescribe the same diet and all those things for cycle regulation.
Yes.
So she came to me for PCOD. This girl was around 25 years old at the time, and she had a lot of facial hair. Facial hair can be very challenging for young girls.
Erotism, absolutely.
So she said that ever since menarche, there was never a time when she didn't have facial hair.
Okay.
Imagine this poor young girl.
Absolutely.
So I gave her my treatment protocol and everything, and I explained to her that hair cycle is 6 months. So for new hair follicles to not start growing would take 6 months. That means lasting result will be seen only at 6 months.
Yes.
And that is why I did not give her an appointment, an early appointment. I said, it is going to take time, come to me after some time. But she was going to relocate, so she came to me 3 weeks later. Just before I go away, let me see doctor. And when she came, her face was completely clear, which was not really remarkable because we use all those depilatory creams and such. So I didn't really think much about it. But she said no, she had not used anything since the day she saw me. In 3 weeks, she had gone from being very hirsute to completely clean. And this was a result that I had never seen in my 3 decades of Dynac experience. And that is when I realized, my God, the human body is so powerful. The healing power of the human body is so remarkable. And that is what we need to harness. We don't need to go for pharmaceuticals.
Yes. What you just shared has been experienced by me also personally with so many people that I consult with. So I actually relate to what you just said, that if taken care of your lifestyle, if the correct use of functional medicine is taken place, consultations, counseling actually happens in a nice way for the betterment of somebody where they understand sustainable results, things can change. Your body can actually start supporting you instead of just going completely opposite. I
This is
completely
such a revelation, no?
it is. Thank you.
And
Thank you for that story also. Thank you. Also, doctor, so, the last question for today is that, from your side, would there be any kind of recommendations that you would like to give women, who suffer from something like hormonal conditions, suffer from thyroid conditions, PCOD, or infertility, any kind of personal tips from your experience, if you would like to give these girls, where they could, which could help them to change certain things in their life?
so this is a very simple recommendation which applies to all hormonal situations and actually to health in general. One, avoid processed foods. Two, avoid refined foods.
Yes.
So that would include refined maida, refined flour, refined oils, refined salt. Anything that says refined, run away.
Yes.
And three, avoid packaged foods.
Absolutely.
So just these 3 things, they're simple things to do, but they pack a punch in terms of results.
Yes, they do. They do.
Hmm?
Yes, yes.
I'm sure this is what you also advise your clients. A simple thing to do.
All the time. And doctor, actually, I would also like to share something that, you're also saying this, I also say this, that it's a simple thing. But if seen from the perspective of somebody who's coming in with an issue, maybe it's a very integral part of their life.
Yes.
And then to completely eradicate that thing, to replace it with more healthier options, and then
it's not so simple.
To sustain that over a period of time actually does not become that simple, which is why beautiful people and experts like you come in, and wherever we can help, we try to do all these things and kind of, reverse these lifestyle problems that they have. And also, doctor, so, you must have also seen a lot of nutritional deficiencies when women come to you.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So what would you like to recommend for something like, a lot of nutrition deficiencies in women? Any advice you would like to give them?
so please understand that the soil that we have now, in which all our plants, vegetables, and fruits are growing, the soil has been degraded completely, because we are using chemical fertilizers. The chemical fertilizers do not contain the necessary minerals. So if the soil doesn't have the minerals, the plant will not have them, and then we will not be getting those minerals.
Yes.
So don't think that not taking supplements is a badge of honor. It's not.
Yes.
It's not. There are certain supplements that we need to have because the food is not giving us those requirements. It is not fulfilling. I only eat fresh food. I only eat home cooked foods. It is still not enough.
Yes. Yes.
Even if you're eating organic, the soil still needs to have those nutrients.
Yes. It's true.
If the soil doesn't have them, it doesn't matter how organic you grow it. It still won't be sufficient. But that doesn't mean that you relocate and buy a farm and
Yes.
it doesn't mean that. No, but at least do the best that you can.
Yes.
At least don't go in for the packaged foods and the processed foods. At least just eat real food. This is a simple thing. Just eat real food, and a lot of your problems will be solved through that. Simple thing again.
Thank you, doctor, for all this beautiful information.
I'm just repeating what you say anyway. I don't think there's anything new that
No, but I think, with everything that you said today, every single thing is so true. And if women start implementing, 50% of these things in their lifestyle, things can reverse for them. So thank you for coming on this talk today, doctor. Thank you for your beautiful insights.
Thank you for having me.
We're very, very happy to have you over here and to get your knowledge from you. Thank you.